Tony, is it safe to say that even with the starters you were missing, you did not see this coming?
Oh, well, first of all, I mean, I owe an apology to the administration, to the players in the locker room, the staff. I did not do a good job of having them prepared to play. So what you saw out there today, that's on me. And I got 2 weeks to really figure it out, to have us ready to play our best football down the stretch. There's no excuses. I mean, it doesn't matter who's in there. The expectation is the expectation, and the other way you look at it is, man, guys got an opportunity, and they got to be ready. But that starts with me, so I have to make sure that I have them prepared and ready to go to be able to compete and execute at a high level.
I know that a game does not come down at all to one play, but how big was that swing when you have 1st and goal at the 1 and end up having to get a field goal?
Yeah, right there it's first and 1, and man, Josie's he's in there, he's geared up, he's ready to go, and we just have a bad snap, and so now instead of us having a chance to go up by 7, you're going to be chasing 4 points at some point. But I'm not going to put that the whole game on that particular play, because there's going to be a lot more plays as we watch it to see that we had opportunities to swing the momentum back in our direction, and we didn't capitalize.
Yeah, was there any thought to go to Musket earlier in the game, given that Calandry was struggling to get the ball out, or were you going to stick with Calandry no matter what?
Well, there wasn't a ton of discussion because, in fairness to Calandry, there wasn't much time. He was getting his back foot in the ground, and guys were on him. And so I thought he battled, considering the circumstances, to just keep playing. Was getting hit and sacked, and so the discussion didn't really take place until later in the game. Because again, in a situation like that, we felt like his ability to elude and escape, gave us, the best opportunity amidst the struggles that we had up front today.
And then on the 1st and goal play from the 1,
yeah.
Why not the Broster House package? You guys have used a lot.
Well, honest answer, you find out that your center's out on Friday afternoon, and the center you got in there hasn't practiced, that particular play. And, from a mindset, you go with what they're comfortable doing, and that whole drive, we'd been in the gun, all right? So you don't anticipate that. So I knew we were going to get questions about it, but I stand firmly on the decision. You got a center in there that hasn't had a chance to really practice that. So that, and he's been snapping in the gun all drive up to that point. So.
What was the message from you to this locker room after this game, and what have you seen from them and with their reception to it? Yeah,
so the message was, man, we got to take ownership of it. At the end of the day, right? We can't. There's nowhere to hide, right? Like, and it's a life lesson too, right? So whatever you're running from in life, eventually it's going to track you down, and you're not going to be able to hide. And today, we missed an opportunity to grow and develop as a program. So we can't hide from it. We got to own it. At the end of the day, hopefully nobody will look to the right or the left and start pointing fingers, except for they look straight ahead in the mirror and say, what can I do better? How can I make sure that my fundamentals are better? How can I have more appreciation for my opportunity and for my teammates? And then how can I, have a more mental and physical toughness to be able to go out and execute and compete? So that was the message, to our guys. Man, we got a lot of football left. Man, we're scrapping, we're fighting. And then also, too, the message to these guys is, I've seen it. That's probably the most frustrating thing is, man, I've seen these guys perform and play at a high level, so I know they're capable of it. But it all comes down to decisions, daily decisions. And today we didn't have our minds in the right place. And again, I take ownership because that's my fault. My job as a head coach is to make sure that collectively everybody's on the same page, pulling in the same direction with the same mindset. And I failed at my job today.
Yeah, with how Musket has done the last 2 games, is there any consideration, or do you still think that Anthony Calandry gives you the best chance to win?
I mean, we'll go evaluate it, right? I'm not ready to answer that question, especially in the heat of the moment. We got to go evaluate the film and kind of see what happened. But we're going to be fair, and we want to win football games. And it's been good to see Tony come in and have some success. But we got a lot of things to discuss these next 2 weeks.
Would you say this game was lost in the trenches, not only offensively with the offensive line, but also stopping a run for UNC? Hampton was a monster for UNC.
Yeah, I mean, every game is going to come down to the trenches, right? And I've been very fortunate to be around some great skill guys, but at the end of the day, man, the game of football starts up front. And so you got to be able to run the ball, You got to establish the run. You got to be able to protect the quarterback, and then you got to be able to stop the run and then get after their quarterback. So we got a lot of work to do. We'll figure it out. I hate it for Jimmy. Jimmy Christ. Early diagnosis. He's got a broken ankle. Man, I hate that for him. Because we were going to need him, but more importantly for him, man, he's been battling injury. So really be thinking about him over the next couple of days as he deals with that injury, and then hopefully we'll get some of our guys back, up front to help us down the stretch.
Final 2 minutes of the first half. What was kind of the mood in the locker room? What did you say to them in the locker room? For how much of a shift in the game had happened in those last 2 minutes.
So what I said at halftime, I can't repeat, to be honest with you, because I was just trying to challenge the guys. I was trying to flip the mindset, right? Trying to get the guys to snap out of wherever they were mentally. But obviously, I didn't say the right things. So I got to, evaluate myself to make sure that one, I have them prepared better mentally, and then I can figure out which buttons to push. When they're having a tough time to get them back, back to where they need to be.
I know your front seven is doing everything they can, but coming into the year with the experience, particularly up front, did you think you'd be getting more of a pass rush than you have, and what kind of pressure does that put on the back four, back five?
Actually, I thought early in the game our front four was doing a better job. I thought that they were affecting the quarterback and making him flush the pocket and move. But when you're letting them stay ahead of the chains, man, it's tough. It's tough to do there, and what we are what we are, right? So if that means we got to get pressure by simulated pressure, by bringing second level guys, it is what it is. But we'll evaluate it these next 2 weeks and see, can we gain some more production of actually getting the quarterback on the ground down the stretch here in these last 4 games. Yeah, that's what we hope. I think Clary is getting better, each day, just in terms of managing the swelling. That's what it's going to be on him. At some point we know he's going to have to go in and get it fixed, right? But now he's just trying to manage the swelling so that he can perform. Because the biggest thing is you don't want to put a young man out there. Because the one thing I know about Clary is, he'll lay it on the line for this football team. But you want to put him out there when he has a chance to protect himself, and he's not quite ready yet. And hopefully over the next couple of weeks, we'll get several guys. James Jackson. Hopefully Brian will be back, and we get Furnish back in the next couple of weeks as we go down the stretch.